Hey everybody! Welcome to this exciting. Oh, it's still playing there.
Cool.
All right. Once again, one of these weeks we're gonna get a perfect open. One of these weeks. It's still playing the music on the Wirecast, and it's Go. Oh, there we go.
Every time.
Oh no, you know what it is? It's me looping my audio back again.
I mean, it's not.
All right. Sorry, it's me again, being an idiot, having another window open. Sorry. Okay. Next week we're gonna have a perfect opening. This is week 2-ish. We had week 0 where we tried to iron out the kinks, and then we moved into week 1.0 through 1.4. And now we're ready to move on to week 2. We're close enough. Obviously, we should maybe practice the opening bit a little bit again. So this is a great episode of Anywhere because tonight we have an excellent panel of special guests who are going to share with us some of their exciting stories of adventures from the road. And we'll also be sharing some reenactments because one of the things that makes Anywhere, the travel show, so special is that we will recreate the best travel stories that people have from their adventures in the world. So that's one of the things we're doing. So let me introduce our guests today. We have Andy Burt with us. Years ago, we had an epic adventure where we traveled from San Francisco to Costa Rica in a caravan of vehicles that were powered by vegetable oil. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So tell the folks where you're at now.
Right now, I am on Lake Arenal in Costa Rica. I did return to the States, but I came back because it's an amazing place. So I'm here on the lake.
And you're settled in the mountains now instead of the more tropically challenging environments of the coast. Is it nice up there?
It is. It's cooler. It's
Yeah.
a lot cooler here. So it's more hospitable to electronics, which is one of the reasons I think we're able to have this conversation right now, being way out in the middle of nowhere. But it's a little bit more temperate. So I visit the beach, but I don't live there anymore.
Excellent. And then also tonight with us we have Tori Anamason, who was our inaugural producer. He one of the other concepts of this show is that this is a viewer-supported show. It's a collaborative endeavor where we're inviting you, the people of the internet, to help us create the most amazing travel show that the world has ever known. So we need your help to do that because our skill set's limited, and so maybe our imagination a little. But with your help, we can bust through all those barriers and make the greatest travel show the world's ever known. So Tori was gracious enough to be the guest producer of our first adventure into Tijuana.
Cool. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Hadn't been there since I was a teenager, so it was really cool. We showed that on week 1, right?
Yeah. Was it as glorious as you remember?
Yeah. Well, it was cooler than I remember. It was a little cleaner, though still dirty, and those masks when we were there last time. Oh, I forgot to bring that, but the luchador masks were pretty awesome.
Oh yes, they are. We have some standing by. Also, another guest that we have joining us, who I cannot see her video appearing here, but as a blue box is fire. So
Hey, Fire.
hopefully the blue box will become something interactive.
They look like they're on mute too. Is that someone you know, or?
Yeah, that's our third guest, Fire.
Cool.
Yeah, she's
am I here?
Oh, we can hear you, but we cannot.
I turned
see
on
you.
my cam, but I don't know. It's on for me. You know, I'm really technically unsound.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna try. You guys can let me know later. Carry on with your great selves.
Okay, well then let's start off with Tori, who's got an excellent tale that he's going to share with them about his adventures in was it Manila? Was this where you're going to regale us with a tale? Tori?
You turned into a robot and froze. Oh, sorry. You turned into a robot and then froze, so I didn't hear that.
Oh, that's excellent.
Like you sounded like a Cylon, and then the. So, did you ask me a question? Cool.
Yeah, I was asking. I was working into getting you to share your story about your. I'm doing it again. Jesus Christ. Okay. How is it? Am I fine now?
I didn't get that.
He seems to be fine from my end.
Oh, from your end, you can hear me fine? It might be. Oh, yeah. Jesus, well, I think it's time to talk to Andy.
It might just be my connection. I can hear you now.
Oh, you can hear me now?
I can hear everything.
Everybody can hear everything.
In between sipping my scotch.
So you see, people, why we need your help to improve the technical aspects of our show and make this the greatest that it can be.
Where is my face?
Also, I don't know. All right, so
I ended up muting Andrew, so he may need to unmute himself when he's ready to talk. There was a buzz.
All right. So Tori, I guess we'll go back to that. Like, so you recently went to Manila. What was that like?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I took some notes, so I'll be going off this.
You're prepared. We have one prepared person on our program this evening.
Well, I was going to be prepared. Yes, I couldn't get it together yesterday. Hello, hi, I'm Tori, and I'm prepared this time. Yeah, okay, so I got this awesome job. Sort of randomly, they found me on Facebook, and I kind of thank the lucky stars and lazy HR department for just finding me on Facebook or on LinkedIn. And saying, oh, okay, we'll just fly you up and we'll give me a job. So it was kind of a interesting experience how I got the job. But essentially, I'm a trainer for a mobile advertising company. And my job has changed 2 or 3 times since I started working there a year and a half ago. But on this trip, I'm the trainer for North America, and there's another trainer for the rest of the world. And so there was an opportunity to train this company in the Philippines, and so I said, "Hey, I'll do that if no one else does." And so about a little less than a week before the training, they're like, "Oh, hey, you ready to go to the Philippines?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah, I guess so." And it was my first international trip, and I've got a few days to prepare, and I'm down in San Diego, and I live in LA, so I had to pack up and get ready, get on the phone and get the travel arrangements all arranged, and I had to pay for it, and then they reimbursed me. But so I decided to do a extra layover in Japan so I could see my cousin. So
is that where the crazy happened?
No, this is just the setup.
Okay.
So I found out later the reason why I got to go to the Philippines and it wasn't the other guy is because the other guy had flown into the Philippines and his plane almost crashed, so he was freaked out. And he's like, just please send this other guy. So I got to go.
Is it a dangerous airport or something, or just a freak accident?
No, I think just a freak accident.
Oh.
So I was actually down. A friend of mine, David Dawson. Corey, you should talk to him. He's doing a podcast for the class of '93.
Uh-huh.
He is from the Philippines, and I just happened to be in San Diego doing this podcast with him. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm from the Philippines." I'm like, "Oh well, I might have this chance to go." And then like the day after I did the podcast, I'm like, "Oh crap, I'm going. Can you hook me up with your family down there so I can hang out with them?" So so I go there, looking at my notes here. So I fly out of LAX, and then I go Japan. Airport is like really nice. Just like go through. There's no like frisking. There's no like thing that spins around and like does the backscatter or anything. They just
No naked scanner.
yeah. They just look at you and go, okay, you look okay, and they look
They
at the
didn't.
stuff.
They didn't
Okay.
check your bunghole.
No. No extra groping. Just pass on through. And then they had a separate line for people with kids and old people. Like, oh, they pulled out all the old people. I'm like, oh, where are they going? And they like went around and they got like faster service. It was really clean, and it was like, wow. And then they had this weird box thing, and it had this like red flashing light. And it looked like it
They
was
can't see,
Al?
but they can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to still be hearing it. Sorry, Tori, go ahead.
Oh no, okay. So like 2001 HAL, that computer with like the little red light in it.
Uh-huh.
There are these things all over Japan, and I found out later they're like their fire alarm systems. They're like these big boxes.
Oh,
And
they don't talk to you in that kind of depressed voice.
no, they don't say anything.
Hello.
They just ominously sit there. Actually, the light's not blinking. It just looks like it could potentially blink at you, and you're like, wow, what is that? So anyway, I get whisked through that, and then I go to the Manila airport, and there's a song that says, "This is a no wang wang zone. Please fall in line to avoid embarrassment." And then I'm like, what the heck? What does that mean? So I look it up later, and apparently the corruption is so bad there that the mayor and people with money would hire the police to go in front of them blaring their sirens so they could get through the traffic. And the sound of the siren is wang wang. So what it meant was you can't cut in line, everyone fall in line in an orderly fashion and we'll get through the line. So, of course, to get through the line, I had to bribe this police officer. And I like, it was the first time ever going through customs, so I didn't know what to do with this like piece of paper. And he's like, oh, let me see your wallet. I'm like, oh, okay. And he like pulls out like $5 or something, and then he's like, yeah, and then you just go through there. I'm like, okay. That doesn't.
Are you sure it was a bribe or was there a fee?
Well, he just like put it in his pocket.
Oh,
And there was just,
okay.
like
that
a guard
sounds like a
standing
bribe.
there. There's no like cash register or anything. I was like, oh, okay. And then I took a taxi into town. Later, I found out I got ripped off from the price of the taxi.
Mm.
But I kind of had a suspicion I was, and I was like,
Did it not have a meter?
no, but it was so cheap anyway.
No meter. Did it like you negotiate the price beforehand, or do you just get in and hope
I just
for the
got
best?
in and go, can we go to this hotel?
Yeah, that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, but I got there. I got there fine. And it was cheaper than like any cab. I think it was like maybe $5 or $10 or something. Where any kind of shuttle from an airport in LA would be like $20 at least.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, that's fine. Let's
Yeah, there's
see.
all these
Okay.
tricks in every city around the world for like about the cabs. Like, don't get into these ones. Like,
Yeah, well, they're
those
kind
ones
of
cost more. Watch out for this. Like each city has its own.
yeah. They're kind of famous for these crazy metal buses that they'll paint wild designs on the side of them, and they just kind of go by, and then people are hanging off the side and stuff. And I didn't get to take one of those, but I heard they're kind of like known for that.
I've seen them in some movie, like some action movie.
And apparently they're getting less colorful.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It
They're
takes a
getting
lot
more
of effort to
standardized.
do all that.
Well, they're getting standardized, and people are putting ads on them and stuff rather
Oh.
than themes. Oh, cool. So then, let's see. what else is there? Oh yeah, so the place is called Fort Bonifacio, and it used to be a military fort, and then they just opened it up for commerce. So like almost overnight, maybe the past 2 or 3 years, they just started building and building, and there's these just like huge like skyscrapers that are just being half built, and there's like really kind of shoddy construction. Like the hotel I went into was like brand new, but it wasn't even on Google Maps. It was so new, and you could smell the sewage because they didn't put the little like curve in the pipe, and so I was talking to someone there, and
It's just
that's
a
just
straight
normal.
pipe to the shithole.
On the like 15th floor or something like that.
What?
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. And so I was talking to someone that lived there, and she's all, yeah, well, we just like, if we're not going to use the toilet a long time, we just cover it in cellophane. That's just common there.
Maybe
so
we
I
should
went to
start a business selling curved toilet things.
Yeah, or doing actual plumbing. I don't know. But in the office that I went to, there was a staircase that went up to like the ceiling. It was like they meant to build another floor and then just didn't
get around to it.
Yeah.
Well, you see that a lot in like Latin America, where there's the aspirational spires of
yeah.
a house that'll someday be where the rebar sticks up out of the roof, and it's because someday they're going to get around to building the story, but they could only afford to, get so far with it, but at least they,
I like that. That's a good way to think of it. It was an aspirational staircase.
Maybe it didn't live up to its full potential, but
yeah, they were on the top floor, so. So I go out. These two. David's aunt and her friend take me out. And we go and we see True Faith, which is like a popular Philippine band, and apparently everybody can sing in the Philippines. So
sing and dance, huh? Maybe.
Yeah, well, there wasn't much room to dance, but there was a lot of. They were singing, and they pulled people from the audience to sing. And so I was
were
like,
they good or did they just like singing?
Everyone was good except for me. So they pulled me up, and I was like, but it wasn't karaoke because there's no words. So I had to like try and remember the words, and I forgot them. And luckily, he was like helping me along. I was like, And then apparently the mayor was there too, and he was an amazing singer, and he was singing with True Faith.
Is that how he got? What did he sing?
I can't remember what he sang. I sang in an In Excess song. But yeah, Truth Faith is kind of known for. I think it was Need You Tonight. So.
All right. Can you want to sing a little for us now? No, I'm just kidding.
I need you tonight, 'cause I'm not sleeping. I don't know.
And you did that, and how big was the audience?
Oh, I don't know, probably about 30. Yeah, I don't know, probably maybe about 10 or 15 people up front, and then there was like.
You know what? That's an excellent segue since you mentioned karaoke.
Sure.
Andy and I, when we were on our journey from San Francisco to Costa Rica in a caravan of vehicles powered by vegetable oil, we stopped in Honduras, where we were guests of the government there in Honduras.
Nice.
But later in the night, after a bit of the story we're going to play back in a reenactment, I was like passed out sick on the table while everybody else was doing karaoke with the president's nephew.
Nice.
Right? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yes. And some very, very hard-hitting gangsters.
Wow.
And their concubines.
I don't
Corey was
remember
just
that part.
napping
I was
there?
out of it. Huh?
And you were just napping?
I had a huge fever. Like, I was really sick.
Oh.
But I woke up later for the casino.
Yeah, that was somewhere towards the beginning of the night, the karaoke.
The karaoke, yeah. It was like midnight, the middle of the night. So
we'd been on the road for months and months and months, so to be in the city was like really exciting civilization. So we piled as many people as we could into our truck and just went for a night on the town in Tegucigalpa.
Now, Tegucigalpa is like an interesting city. I don't know what to say about it. It's kind of confusing, like jumble of streets, and we didn't have GPS back then.
Nope.
No,
No
we
cell
did have
phones.
like computer maps we had back then. I remember way back. What was it? Art 3, Art 4.
Well, the
When I was a
GPS
young
doesn't work in
man.
Manila.
It does not work in Manila.
Yeah, it's off. Because there's so much new construction that Google doesn't know where anything is, and then
Uh-huh.
I don't know why, but the satellites don't go there much, I guess. So,
Huh.
because it's out in the middle of the ocean.
It's like a U.S. military system. The GPS is based on. Maybe
Yeah.
they're not like a threat, or we don't have bases there.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I don't know. I'm just guessing. I saw Jennifer came on for a second, and she was upside down
Oh, cool.
in the little
Notice that.
little bar down there.
I got a notification that says, "Watch out, fire is gonna be online," and then she wasn't.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear
Yeah.
laughter.
Yep.
Yeah.
I turned her back on.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay, yeah.
Can you hear me? I have this weird thing. I'm not a techie girl, so I'm all upside down and shit, like all the time. Like,
Well,
all
see,
the time.
What
Like
kind
the
of computer are you
Skype. I'm
on?
upside down in Skype.
If
Can
you
we ask easier questions first?
like,
I'm on an Asus. All
Asus.
tech.
I just meant like a PC or an Apple, but that answers. the
Oh, it's a
question.
laptop.
There's like a little icon at the top of the Hangout thing with the gear where you can kind of select what your
Oh.
camera is. You might.
Oh, gear. Yeah.
We'll make this a learning
Alright.
moment for people on the internet.
Yeah.
If you're doing
Sorry,
a Hangout,
guys.
a Google Hangout, you can change your settings.
So this
By clicking on the gear.
I'll just put it on Anycam because I think that's like the app that I have on right now. And maybe you can see me. Maybe not.
Not yet.
Keep going. I'll try it a couple
All
times.
right, we'll cross our fingers.
Sorry,
So,
boys.
which brings us back to Tegucigalpa. We have a video of a reenactment of part of this thing that happened to us. It was only the second car chase of my life, the third. The third. There was one. I had two in high school.
Don't forget that first one.
Yeah, well, I was a sheriff cadet once, right along with the cops and got in a car chase from the cop side. It was a little
Oh.
sheriff cadet explorer scout.
Listen.
And then later, I was in a car chase where some kids threw a water balloon at me, and we chased them down and made them cry when I was a kid myself. But
You're a bad
a driving kid. They were driving kids. And we chased them down in a big truck and made them cry. That was my second car chase. And then the third car chase is this one with Andrew in Tegucigalpa. So
I've only been in one serious car chase in my life.
that's
It
wrong.
happened in Central America, in Tegucigalpa,
Serious, I guess.
the
is
capital of Honduras. We just finished having dinner, and me and my friend Andy got in the pickup truck, and we headed out across town to go meet up with a friend.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
that was
like
the
4 people in the
plan
back of
anyway.
the truck, but I couldn't
I
animate
had a
that.
fever, and I was kind of out of it, and I got in the truck, and I went to back up, and I scratched a truck
I
that was
forgot about
parked
this
next to
part.
me. And for some reason, it was probably the shiniest, like, most freshly painted, nicest truck in Central America. It cost me $200 before I could leave the
$200,
parking
dude.
lot.
It was
so
a shiny,
obviously I didn't
where they-
want to drive
I got
anymore.
ripped off.
So we head off across the city, and we're looking for this hotel, but we can't find it. We're just totally lost. So we ask a taxi cab driver if he can show us the way to this hotel. And he's like,
He
yeah,
looked
dude,
way
I'll do it."
sketchier than that guy.
It says,
Yeah.
Honduras, so he didn't say, yeah, dude, I'd do it. He spoke Spanish. He starts leading us all around this city, and then after a while, it's like, is this guy just as lost as we are? Because we don't seem to be getting anywhere. And then this guy pulls onto a street and stops in the middle of it, and there's like 100 people all around us, and it looks kind of weird. Why are there so many people? We're surrounded all of a sudden, and the taxi cab driver's talking to some guy, and we're like, oh my god, my friend looks at me and he goes, "This doesn't look good." And I was like, "Yeah, man, it doesn't look good." He's all, "We're getting out of here." And then he like puts the pedal to the metal and he pulls out around in front of the taxi cab and just clips the front of the taxi cab and practically tears the bumper off. So the taxi cab driver comes after us, and we're just trying to stay one step ahead. We're speeding through these small streets, and at one point there was sparks flying off the mirrors as it
That was
scraped
funny.
against the side of these walls. We zigged and
Literally.
zagged. There's no way we're going to lose a taxi in a big pickup truck. We spot this armed security guard in the parking lot of a gas station, and we pull over thinking that this is probably going to be the safest place to deal with this. And after all that, after practically tearing this taxi's bumper off, the guy only wants $20.
$20. I scratched a car.
I've
There
only
was
been
a
in
little-
one serious car
little
chase
scratch.
in my life. It happened in Central America, in Tegucigalpa, the capital of Honduras. We just finished having dinner, and me and my
Hold
friend
on, the feed's still
got
going.
in the
Yeah,
pickup truck, and we head
yeah,
out
it's
across
looping back,
town
yeah.
to go meet up with a friend.
You can
So that
switch
was
back
the
and
plan, anyway.
There you go. All right, so again, we're learning to use our technology here still. We just switched to a new system from our other weeks, where we're like running through new software over to YouTube and then whatever. But it looks better. There's
Oh, good.
better quality video that goes out on the end or the
I like the in studio feed. That's cool.
the video or that one, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we're fancy here. We're fancy.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to. That's why we screw up every week, because we're not doing something totally simple like.
It's
I
not a
could just
canned
sit-
experience.
Yeah, it's like this is some class here. Yes, we fall down, we mess up. You know, some of it's shitty, but you know, there's a kernel of like something special here. So
Truth.
yeah. So finally, we've got Jennifer, who has finally, through the magic of mastery of her technology, joined us.
Hey,
What? Now
Hello.
we can't hear you. What?
I don't have her muted.
We're close.
You get one
We're
or the
close.
other.
Yeah. So that story from Honduras was mostly true. It was just sort of simplified because it was actually more complicated and unbelievable. And my skills as an animator are incredibly limited, as you may have noticed.
I thought it was perfect.
Thank you.
I remember a little differently, and
You
we
re-
definitely
Let's hear how you remember it.
had 4 or 5 people in the back,
Yes.
and we weren't.
4.
He
It was
wasn't-
Spider,
he-
Nomi, Patrick, and Clara.
Yeah, he was taking us to a destination that he had in mind, which is not the one that we asked him to take us to.
What are you
Because
talking about?
when we came around the corner, all of those cars.
Oh, the
were,
taxi cab driver.
Yeah, they were other dudes in a dark alley, and they started.
Oh, it was
approaching the
actually
car.
not a dark alley. It was like a very well lit street, but there was it seemed like 100 people around us. I mean,
And they were all walking towards us, and he stopped in the middle of the road.
we were
and-
surrounded by people. That was the.
And Patrick's pounding on the top of the car, right? 'Cause
Oh,
they're
was he
sitting
pounding
that-
on top of the car?
Yeah, they're sitting on that roll bar, and I turned to you, and I did say this doesn't look right. And right after that, I said, "We're leaving now." Hold on 1 second. Hey, sorry, I'll be done in a minute.
No. Are you blocking up the
Yes.
toilet? Where are you coming to us from?
I'm in my.
Is
I'm
there
in my
limited
car.
internet where you are? You're coming from the wilds of Costa Rica, so
It's true.
what is
I'm in my
that?
cabina. I'm in my cabina, and I have to keep my voice down because I've got people that are right nearby.
Oh, sorry.
What's the?
He's got some interesting feedback.
Yeah, I hear you got a little
Oh.
buzz coming from.
What is that ticking sound? I don't think that's me.
Yeah, if I mute you, the goes away.
Yeah, whatever. This is imperfect, and you're coming to us from another country. We're like, years ago, this technology was not possible. We could not make an international webcast like this. There was
No
a
way.
time where there was no internet.
Where's Fireflower coming from?
She's coming to us from the East Coast. What are you? Oh shit! We still can't hear you.
Yeah, her video works now. But
Yeah,
the
we can
audio-
see you. I guess none of us speak sign language. Do you? I mean,
It says
Pantomime.
muscles. Nice.
strength and
Bringing
smiles.
forth her
Ugh.
frustration of anger. Urgh.
I think it was an inspirational poem.
Well, hopefully that we'll be able to hear from you again. Again, if you click on that gear setting, you can change your audio setting too. It should be set to your internal microphone or whatever microphone you're using. I don't know.
If she goes to the chat and she puts her mouse over to the left, there's a little chat bar where she can ask questions.
Oh.
Ask what the fuck's going on.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. If anybody is out there watching, I have faith that someday some people will tune in and watch in the future. So I keep doing this, and one of these weeks, this is going to be a great, great show. The more of your help, the better. But if you're out there, if anybody is actually out there watching, I know people have a tendency to say, like on social media, like, "Hey, yeah, I'm going to tune in." I'm not asking you to tell me that you're going to tune in. You can just ignore the message. You don't have to build up my hopes, But I guess just by clicking and saying that you're going to tune in, maybe that's a form of caring. I appreciate it enough that you would say it, but it's not necessary to say you're going to do it if you're not. But anyway, so there may be people out there watching, and I'm not bitter. That might have come off as like bitter, like because I love everybody and I don't judge you for lying to me like that. Anyway, so if you're watching this on the YouTube, on our YouTube channel, you can actually click. There's a thing on the side where you can make comments, and then we can actually see the comments. And Fire, you can, since we can't hear you, you could make comments there too. Until we figure out why we can't have. Why it's one or the other with you. We can only see you. It's like hear no evil, see no. Lose one of the senses. And so we were going to hear some of her amazing adventures, which involved her. And yeah, it was going to be exciting. Do we do it like Pictionary now? Can you? Like 2 words. It's a country. It's. I don't even know what the things are for those games. Well, I mean like 2. I don't know what do you do. Sounds yeah.
She's got something there.
Oh,
is that cookies or chicken?
Chocolate.
Roast beef?
Is it chocolate? She was making chocolate with other women earlier. This is the kind of thing we would like to hear about, women and chocolate making. But
I like chocolate.
Again, we just have some video of some chocolate that exists. So one of the reasons why we're here talking about our travel stories is because, okay, this show, Anywhere Live, is our talk show, right? It's a travel talk show. We will eventually travel with this talk show. Right now I'm trying to.
Work, did it?
What? Oh, you're
we
there.
we heard you.
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, you are now.
I probably picked the wrong button. I mean, the right button.
Well, excellent. Join us. So, we are ready to hear a story from you about some of your adventures in the world.
Well, I was so excited just to get the fuck on. Because that never happens. Can you hear me if I leave this down here?
Yeah. You're totally, everything's good. You are now welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, boys. It's been awesome, like, listening to you the past few weeks. I missed a week. I apologize.
That's okay. I was here for every week, but I feel like I missed 1 of 2 of them myself.
Yeah, I'm all wind up and scotched up right now, so you have to excuse me.
Perfect.
Oh, then you'll perhaps have some salacious stories for us from your adventures in the world.
I was trying to think.
We're in the East Coast.
Oh yeah. Where are you joining us from?
I'm in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Actually, I'm in Conestoga.
Right. Why can't I remember that?
Yeah, it's okay. I'm in Conestoga, And you have your grandmother's back here?
No,
Right,
that's where my grandmother's family farm was until they destroyed it and put the second other tract home development up
Oh,
over
that's
the
right.
family farm.
That is such a shame.
Yeah. The
But
second
yeah.
Liggetville. Now
I'm
we
back
don't
in.
have a farm no more.
We don't got no farm no more.
No farm no more.
Well, I'm back here in Pennsylvania, rainforest.
Is it really? There's a place called Pennsylvania?
Well, that's what we call it. We
Okay.
we call it the Pennsylvania rainforest back there.
Uh-huh.
But the winter storm that's happening back here started way before they said it was going to start. They said after midnight, but it's already started. So we're going to get at least a foot. What?
Of snow?
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
The southeast has been hit really hard recently.
You know, that reminds me, the weather here is awesome. If anybody was wondering, we're coming to you from Southern California right now, San Diego. We're at DigiVid Media Studios here, where it's quite.
Yeah, there's no weather here.
Are you in town too, Tori? He's in Cardiff.
Yeah, I'm in Cardiff.
There's no
Part
weather.
of the most delightful city on earth.
No weather at all in San Diego, and I miss my friends in San Diego, but I don't miss not having weather. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a country girl. I freaking love it right now.
You love it. I'm from San Diego, so like I have an aversion to discomfort. Like Andrew and I were living together in the tropics, and that I mean.
Hey,
it was nice and all, but it's hot. Like, if you want to go do something, like, we got to go walk somewhere, it's exhausting walking somewhere. When you have a car, have to carry stuff. And then, like, we were on a farm part of the time. To do anything on the farm, it's like, oh, God. It's like,
Whatever, Cora. Well,
to walk out, even walking out to the fields, it's like the sun is beating down, and it's like
you can just dance on the way.
And,
you can dance on the way, Cora. And
yeah.
Because you've already been well on your way to losing a bunch of weight, and you're looking fat.
Well, I went ahead and, like, reacquainted myself with some of it.
Keep dancing, brother.
Yeah, I need to keep dancing, and also I need you, the people of the internet, to help send me and the show on future adventures. You could join us.
Heck yeah.
We're looking people to host us places around the world. People to suggest places for us to go. We want to know about the most amazing shit that's happening in the world. So if anybody's out there, please share your ideas.
Well, I was going to tell you guys a story tonight, but it's actually a San Diego story.
Well, you're not in San Diego, so it's like you traveled to San Diego to have the story. I guess.
Of course.
This show is called Anywhere. It's not called Any Foreign Place. You traveled to San Diego to have the story. Any foreign place.
It's kind of a weird story. Oh, someone else just joined.
Yeah, Travis?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
he's joining us via his
it's an extra Travis.
Yeah.
So wait, there's Core,
Right,
there's
right.
Corpalunk, there's Digividia, and there's Travis. Those are all for the same person, right?
Well, four of the same people.
Well, you're on the phone. Oh, I could do that.
Core doesn't have boobs, so that's me.
Oh, nice. Hello.
I know I'm a separate person, I swear to goodness. Well, most of the time. So
we're trying out different stuff. We can use, like, by logging in as more than one person, it gives us more camera angles. So, like, we can log in with a mobile device. In this case, he's attempting to use his iPhone, so it becomes like a mobile camera. In the future, this show is going to be so awesome, and everything we want to do is going to work. I swear it.
Well, Richard
but now is an awesome time for us to hear your awesome story from your travels in San Diego.
Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, this is just a story I was telling earlier tonight, and I just thought it over chocolate making.
Did it go over well?
Chocolate truffle making, by the way.
Oh, that's
nice.
That's even sexier sounding.
Yeah, I might have to show you guys pictures next week, maybe. I don't know.
Oh.
I have it all, like, frozen outside right now in the snow. So this is going to sound kind of depressing at first, but it's not really. I was out singing karaoke only night of the week. I was in school 24/7. I'm in school full time, working, and so I have one night a week. I can just go fucking sing karaoke, and it's down the street at a dive bar where I can ride my bike to, down Cal's Mountain in La Mesa, or San Carlos, whatever you want to call it. You still following me?
Yeah, that's good, and it's good because it ties into our karaoke theme. That was the bridge for all of the.
Yeah, I heard that, and it kind of sparked me because I was talking about it earlier today. So, I'm singing, I'm having a great time, and I had one drink, which is like pretty unusual for me, but it's a school night, so I was just trying to be good, and then I got a second drink while I was singing, and this is like 3 hours. I had the same drink, a tall drink. Bartender loves me. She's an awesome girl, a deaf girl. Not that that's necessarily important, but I was very, like, covetous of her. I wanted to protect her in certain ways when people were a dick to her. And the second drink, I saw it up in the bar, and I just noticed that it looked bluish, greenish. And I was like, ooh, there's lots of lights behind the bar, like almost like stained glass. So I didn't want to, it just looked unusual to me, but I'm like, must be the lights behind the bar. But I took 2 sips of that drink. Within 3 minutes, the bartender, who I was really good friends with, said I went from, like, perfectly fine to, why are you looking at the bartender? That's not your girlfriend. She has a husband. Like, I went completely psychotic, apparently. So someone had drugged my drink.
Somebody drugged your drink?
Yeah, that was the 3rd time I was drugged, but this was kind of like the okay, it sounds kind of serious at this point, but I promise you, it gets pretty damn hilarious. So, nothing bad happened. We'll just preface it with that. There was no craziness. Well, there was a bunch of craziness, but nothing bad happened to me. Nobody kidnapped me or raped me. They just drugged me. So, that was the 3rd time I was drugged in my life.
Wow.
So,
I've never been unintentionally or intentionally drugged by somebody else that I
know,
didn't know that a drugging was occurring.
And this was definitely roofies. I'll tell you why later, but
really?
how I know that, yeah. It's like the same 3 drugs 3 times in my life. But this has to be like the most epic time that I was ever drugged. So, number one, I'm pretty sober when they drug me. So my fireness, and Corey, you know me, so like my essential shit was still kicking, and it's like my body knew that somebody was fucking with me. So I said that to the bartender. I was like, why are you looking at her? She has a husband. I was defending her. She says this to me like a couple days later. We had talked about it. And then she said... Were
you with a friend or like...
No, I was by myself because I rode my bike here. It was a bar that I could ride my bike to. It was the... Oh, fuck. What the fuck is it called? It's like the same name as the road, I think. I lived on Cal's Mountain and Lake Murray Boulevard, and it was like the...
It's okay. It's probably best we don't name the bars where people are getting drugged. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that a liability? If you're around the neighborhood of such and such and such.
There's something of the darkest dive in that place. Okay?
All right. It's a cautionary tale to all you out there to keep an eye on your drinks or have a trusted friend. Keep an eye on your drinks when you're in a situation where you could be vulnerable to predators, which happens a lot to people who are traveling. You're in an unfamiliar situation and you let your guard down, and there are people waiting to prey upon you for a variety of reasons. So I can't stress that. Everybody should travel, everybody should have fun, but everybody should know that there's a bunch of assholes in the world. There's more people who are wonderful, and you're going to have an awesome time traveling, but there's also a lot of assholes involved.
That's true. I mean, I've had way more great experiences than I ever had, like, shady experiences, hands down.
Yeah, me too.
And, you know, you just gotta be careful. I mean, the other situations that, anywho, let's move on. So, the bartender at the time, awesome deaf girl. She's a pretty much a badass. So it's kind of funny that well, it's just me. I just defend people. I'm like, oh, must protect. And she wanted me to stay there so she could take me home because she knew something was very, very wrong. Because I went from fire to like, what the fuck was that? Like fire demon. And then the two guys that I never met before, two military guys that were sitting at the bar that nobody had ever seen before, kept trying to offer me a ride home.
Oh.
And she said she was trying to offer me a ride home, and she was trying to follow me. I practically ran out of the bar, she said. Like, I mean, like literally within 3 minutes, I ran out the bar. She said she came around the corner. I had unlocked my bike. I was on the bike. By the time the two military guys ran out, I was already around the corner on my bike. Going up Cowles Mountain. Has anybody ever been up Cowles Mountain Road?
I mean, I've heard of it. Isn't that something people climb on hikes?
They climb the mountain, yes.
Yeah.
The road is as much of a climb on a bike. And so I'm going up there, not drunk, but very, very drugged. And apparently, I'm going to say apparently at this point, I fell off the bike because the next day I had, you know, marks on my hands. But what I do remember is having a dream that night. And I dreamed that I walked into a house that was not mine.
Oh, no.
And there was this big, gorgeous, wooden, rectangular table, and I was like, oh my gosh, this looks like the most beautiful family table I've ever seen. So beautiful. And then I look over on the counter, and there's like homemade tortilla chips. I was like, wow, I'm hungry. Yeah. And then I opened the refrigerator, and I was like, there was a perfect Mexican fiesta meal in Tupperware. Like, I think it's like, it seemed like it was the only thing in the refrigerator was like this perfect taco meat.
So was this a reality?
Yeah, this was totally happening. I walked into somebody's house.
You pulled a Robert Downey Jr., but he was like...
I don't know what that means, but
no,
I love Robert Downey
he was
Jr.
high and wandered into a neighbor's house, but he got himself high.
Oh, nobody. Okay, all
and
right.
He woke up in like some child's bed. They found him like.
Yeah, that didn't
what is
happen.
it, Goldilocks?
The way I woke up was even fucking more hilarious then. So I'm like, oh my god, I'm so hungry, and this is like the most beautiful food. I'm having a dream at this point. I'm fucking drugged out of my mind. And so, and because I wasn't super drunk, I was more just out of it than anything else. I mean, it may have been something else than roofies, but I'll tell you why I thought it was roofies the next day. Anywho, so I fixed myself 2 tacos. I literally get tortilla chips from the counter. I pull a plate out of the fucking cabinet, a green plate, yay big. And but before I go to eat, I always have to pee before I eat. So I went to look for the bathroom. I opened a door, and there was somebody sleeping in a bedroom with a white sheet over them.
Oh my god.
And I was like, oh shit, I better be quiet. So I closed the door, and then I went.
Jesus.
I found the bathroom, went to the bathroom, then I was afraid to flush the toilet. Honestly, I don't know if I really flushed the toilet or not at that point.
You're like you're a taco eating, toilet fouling bandit in the night.
I didn't know. I thought I was dreaming, so.
They wake up, somebody's eating their taco. It is kind of like Goldilocks.
But nobody woke up watching me eat their tacos.
No, they didn't.
So I ate the whole taco. I thought I ate the whole second taco too. And then I remember leaving the house. And I was like, wow, what a great family table. Like I literally sat down at that table that I thought was so badass and ate my tacos. And they were so very good. I mean, really fucking good. So I leave the house. I don't remember anything except for finally finding my house. I don't remember finally finding my house. I remember coming in the front door of my house and taking off my shoes, because we take off our shoes before we come out.
Uh-huh.
And then I wake up the next day, feel like nothing's happened, and that's like kind of a sign of roofies, is that you feel like a Mack truck hit you sometimes, especially if you've been drinking a whole hell of a lot. But I hadn't been, so I was just kind of like, doo-doo-doo, gotta study, and I turned my desk chair around, my swivel desk chair, and there's this green plate with a little teeny piece of tortilla, a little teeny piece of the fucking taco chip,
Oh, no.
and a piece of avocado sitting there on my chair. So everything kind of came back. I was like, that was not a dream. And that is totally, I mean, it took a little while for that to process. Right. The only unfortunate part was that I was riding a bike on the way home.
Oh, so there's a bike somewhere. Did you ever find it?
Okay, so the bike did not come home with me.
Mm.
But I had a feeling. I shit you not, boys, or gals, or whoever's watching, I walked down the street because I felt so bad, because I knew I had walked into somebody else's house, ate their food, loved their house, loved their food, and I was holding the plate. I was like, does anybody missing a plate? Walked down all of Cow's Mountain and back, nothing. I was like, have you seen me recently? Like, it was kind of like that. Have you seen me lately? Not on the milk box, but like, have you seen me? Nobody said anything. And not that day, but the next day, my roommate decided to ride home a different way. And he came down the road because I was trying to remember how I had come home. I just couldn't. Like, once I left their kitchen door, the dream kind of ended, and like this, like, I guess my brain went into like, where the hell is my home? You know, kind of mode. And I forgot everything. He found my bike like perfectly propped up against a tree, literally like right around the corner from our house.
Did you go back to see if you recognized the house from the dream?
Yes.
Near the bike?
Several times, and I could not. And I went down the street even on my bike with that plate. I just wanted to apologize to these people, you know. But it was like, no harm, no foul. I didn't kill anybody. I wonder if they noticed
you took the plate. You didn't leave it. Like, you know, they could be like, wait, who did this in the toilet? I don't remember. I thought there was more taco. There was more taco than this.
I did everything, and the funny fucking part is, I remember doing everything like super neat. Like I washed the spoon that I used.
They might not even know you were there.
I remember all that shit. I know. I don't know, but that was some funny shit. I don't know.
You're very courteous in dreams.
In
my dreams, I don't give a about shit. I'm like, especially if I know it's a dream, I'm like, I'll break anything I want. I'll eat anything I want.
I'm totally. If somebody's messing with anybody else, then it's a whole different story. Then I will kill you and your family and the tribe you came from. Like it's.
Whoa.
It's on like Donkey Kong.
Man, that's biblical vengeance there.
When it comes to lucid dreaming and all that kind of stuff, that's a whole nother realm for me. I I save people like that. I mean, I do all kinds of shit in my dreams. That's all. Yeah.
I like to fly around when I realize I'm dreaming. I'm really good at it. I can like levitate. I'm like, hey, look at everybody. No one's ever impressed. I'm like, look at I can fly. This is fucking amazing.
Oh, you know what? When you get to that point, Core,
And everybody's like, yeah, you can fly. I've seen it before.
I think we've talked about that before, but no, they're not like that. Are they like that with you? Because I'm always just like, I got to that point eventually where I was like, okay, look at it, I'm flying, because I always feel like nobody sees me. And when there's people around to watch you, I was like, check it out. And
I've had a few where I start teaching people how to do it. Like, you can just, you just like me, just with your brain.
Do you take their hand sometimes and fly with them?
I don't know. Sometimes, like, tell them to jump off a curb or something.
Oh, I sometimes...
Jump off this curb.
I did that once while I was tripping on acid with myself.
You jumped off
like,
a curb?
Oh, yeah. I was just like, let's go. Woo. And it was like the highest height ever. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my dad drove by me once while I was tripping in my own neighborhood, and I was jumping off the curb on the main street.
Luckily, it was just a curb, right?
Yeah, and I went hiking in the woods after that for a long time before I came home. So.
When I was a kid, I believed that if I really believed that I could fly, that I could fly. Like I believed that if I jumped off the house and I really believed it that I could fly, I just knew that I really didn't believe it enough for it to work because I doubted it somewhat.
Well, that's what
I hear Andrew's got to go. You got to leave us?
Sorry.
Is that what's happening, buddy?
Andrew.
Well, thanks for joining us. I can't hear you. Did you mute him?
No, we should be.
Oh.
I don't know why I can't hear him.
Well, thank you. Andrew.
We heard him for a sec.
He is our first guest that's coming to us from a foreign country. He is in Costa Rica right now, and that is just the beginning because Anywhere Live is a show that comes to you from literally anywhere live where we can get some people to come to you from. So
we have Ryan now.
And our good friend Ryan has joined us. He's here on the line. But any parting words, Andrew? I think we should have another adventure in the future. I'm pushing for a caravan too.
Yeah, I just left you a note, so dial me in for next week. I'll be up in the office, and we can do a full reenaction of the story.
Okay, I'll check in with you
Some of the stories.
during the week. We'll touch back. Thank you for joining us. This man is a true adventurer. I've been through the jungles and into the wilds and into the diseasy places where people get all sorts of diseases that grow on their skin and they're horrible. We've been there and survived it. We survived it. He had a disease I can barely even say. Papanomoya or leishmaniasis is the scientific name, but
leishmaniasis.
That sounds horrible.
Oh, it is horrible, man. Like you think, I'm gonna go for a walk on the beach. It's a beautiful beach. It's a beautiful day. I'm gonna go walk on the beach, and then there's these little sandflies, and then it's not just in Costa Rica or something. These fuckers are around the world in the beach sand in certain climates, and they bite your skin. And what happens next?
Are they like chiggers?
No. Tell the people what happened.
I don't think you can say that on the internet.
Speaking of things you can't say, that reminds me of that other thing that can happen to you, like in Costa Rica with what is it, a tsetse fly, or what is the thing? It lays its larva under your skin and then it grows out of you. Like, we had another friend that happened to down there. We had a friend with staph infection all over. It was horrendous. And then poor Andrew got the leishmaniasis. What is it? Leishmaniasis? It's related to leprosy.
What?
It's a disease that is related to leprosy, and you get these lesions that just grow. Anyway, so when you travel, be sure to maybe put some things on to keep the bugs off of you. You could use like a tea tree oil or a bug spray if you're into that sort of thing, and it'll keep the bugs from biting you. You want to apply that when you're visiting beaches with sandflies.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Safety first.
Safety first. Also, if you get a mosquito bite and you're in a tropical environment, do not scratch it with your fingernails. You're asking for trouble.
Well, on that note.
All right, friends, be well.
Thanks for joining us. Sorry if I brought back painful memories there.
It's all good. Enjoy.
Oh wait, but you found the love of your life, didn't you, when we were in Costa Rica last time?
There's a new one now.
I was talking about your dog.
Oh. This.
Have we gone blank?
Oh, there.
What
Lucky.
happened? Aww.
Oh.
It's friendly.
Friendly, not Lucky. Sorry, I got it wrong. They're like, both nice, friendly names.
She's 11 now.
11. Wow. Awesome.
What kind of dog is that?
Mix. Jungle mutt.
That's a Central American dog.
Well, I thought I saw Dalmatian. That's why I saw spots. A bunch of spots.
She looks Dalmatian-y.
I only saw it for a blip.
Yeah.
She's Dalmatian-esque.
Yeah. Well, that's
She's a good
awesome that
jungle
the two of
monkey
you are
dog.
still together after all this time, and then apparently you have another new love in your life too, which I'm guessing is not a dog.
Aww.
She's probably watching right now, maybe.
Oh. Well, apparently we have no viewers watching us live, but in the future, hundreds, perhaps thousands of people will be watching these videos. So
And going back to
Nobody
the,
watches?
we're time shifting the fame of this moment. So right now
Absolutely.
it's just us, it's intimate, but
Oh,
someday
thank God, because I just
there'll be
my dream.
many eyes upon us, retroactively.
nice.
But since
Well-
time is like mysterious, those eyes are on us now, even though they're not.
Could be true. I look forward to the next episode.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us. It was great seeing you and talking to you again. It's been a while, and
Likewise.
we should catch up more.
Indeed.
I
Much
will.
love.
I will go. I'll adventure with you,
Bye.
sir. I will go to some ill-advised place with you, sir.
Let's talk about that soon.
All right. Excellent. So, thank you for joining us. That reminds me again, one of the things we do on this show is we come together on Anywhere Live to share our ideas and hatch up plans for fantastic adventures and misadventures that we could share in the future.
Awesome. I might have a misadventure or two tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
Well, there'll be a foot of snow on the ground, so
Oh, wow.
can't
What?
be.
Are you
I'm always having an adventure here.
do you have to go out in it, or do you want to go out?
Oh, I do want to go out in it, definitely. And
How do you get
it's
around? Do
supposed
you
to.
drive, or what happens when?
Well, I had my friend come down and hook up the snowblower, so we at least have that. So there's this big tractor with this big old thing, and yeah, that's why I'm so beefy.
Oh, I saw today a robot that clears the driveway. It's like an oversized Roomba with a scoop that does it for you.
Well, that would just be fun as shit, especially if you can control it.
Yeah, I feel like it was a Roomba-ish, but maybe it's totally got a camera and you remote control it.
All right, there's no Roomba that can handle this driveway, but
Well, no, this thing had like 6 tires and like a bulldozer, a little scraper on the front.
basically, I'm in the middle of the country, down by the Susquehanna River. But
What is the river?
Susquehanna.
Susquehanna. Is that like an Indian, a Native American name?
Yeah, I'm part Susquehannock Indian.
Oh.
I grew up along this river. I was born in California, but I was born by the ocean, but raised on the riverbanks here.
Okay.
But yeah, it's pretty freaking gorgeous, and this is basically it's been a decade or I don't even know how much since they've had this much winter back here, and wasn't expecting it, was praying for it, so I'm kind of stoked, but
We haven't had much of a winter here, and we're droughting out this ways.
yes, I know. Well, I've lived in San Diego since 1998, so I've experienced all the weather there.
Mm-hmm.
And
It gets chilly and it gets hot.
contrary
sometimes.
to popular belief, you know, the weather has drastically changed there since I first started living there. And it actually got kind of miserable for me in the long run. I'm living in the desert. People are watering non-lawns. I mean, they're watering the desert, pretty much. And even to have a garden, which I fought for in so many places, I'm putting so much water on it. I would like that to just naturally happen every once in a while.
It's certainly, an arid climate, but I find it quite pleasant.
Well, I love San Diego, don't get me wrong, but I love it more for the people and my places than anything else, honestly. I miss Ucore. I miss my dance family. I miss the dance scene there.
When are you going to come out this way and join us on the dance floor?
I'm not sure. Oh, the Stanton Warriors just played there in January. Oh, yeah, that was painful. But I did get to see them before there. But yeah, like, you know how much I love to dance, but the Lancaster Roots and Blues Festival is coming up soon, so I'll be joining in for that.
In Pennsylvania to
Well, there's a
shake
great
your tuchus to.
there's a great local music scene here.
Excellent.
Yeah, and people from all over there. I heard a guy from Romania is flying in just for this event. I was like, yeah, I gotta meet that guy.
Is that Romanian Bob?
No, I don't know, but I was like,
Somebody
have no
somewhere is
idea.
called Romanian Bob, I bet.
I have
Because there's like two Bobs, but one
no
of them's from
idea. But
Romania.
if he is, I'll
They're like,
let
which
you
Bob?
know.
Which Bob?
Well, everyone was trying to guess what,
Romanian Bob.
because he's writing for some article. It's an article that he's writing for a paper. So everyone's just like, the Vamp News. They were just joking about it, but yeah, whatever. But Parker Millsap's going to be playing, and he's like 19. And
I don't know who anybody is.
I heard he's really into older women, so I'm
So
totally
you're
going
gonna
to
go get lucky.
I'm going to get the cougar edge there. Yeah.
Well, we wish you
Blues.
luck.
Lancaster County, man. Well, I mean, I was looking at the Craigslist ads for dating back here. And there was a few ads, and
Are there some gems?
oh, there are some super gems. One of them, is the Amish guy that needs somebody to churn his butter.
Oh, really? Is he on his Devil's Night? What is it? Devil's Rush per Rumpelstiltskin? Rumpelsnack? What is it? Devil's Playground? The Devilschnacken? Rumpel?
No.
Bootnocking.
What is it called? Do you know what I'm talking about? Rumpelstiltskin? What's it called?
Almost fumble.
Romperskolgenite? I have the internet here. I'm going to have to get an answer to this.
You just tried to make me mesh Jewish and Amish together. I was almost like Rosh Hashanah. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Let's see, what is it? I'm asking the internet who knows the answers to things. Mm-hmm. Hello, internet. Oh, God.
Speaking of, Dopplik is a word, and so is Fadut. PA Dutch. There you go.
Oh, Rumspringer.
Rumspringer.
Yeah, not Rammstein.
Not
No,
Jerry Springer.
You totally messed with me for a
Rumspringer,
second
the
there.
Devil's Playground. It's kind of an interesting cultural thing to do. Like when you turn 16, they're like, okay, you're grown up now. Instead of a bar mitzvah, they set you loose to be crazy.
No.
And then you decide if you want to come back and join the church after you've gone and
But sometimes
poured
they
it up.
don't even leave. very far. Well, they don't lead very far. They have like serious hoedowns. I've been to several of them when I was younger,
Uh-huh.
and like, there's everything: cocaine, marijuana, like you name it.
Crazy
Alcohol.
Amish people getting down, you're saying?
In big barns.
Do they have
Big
electronic
bar-
music?
instead of big warehouse parties, they have big barn parties.
It's like Amish raves, or is
Pretty
it more
much.
pop music?
No, there's all kinds of music, but I mean, we're talking the 80s when this happened, so
Okay, it was
for
wild.
me, personally.
All right.
I haven't been to anybody's Rumspringa since, the 80s, but
But so were those were wild? Did
They
those
were
Amish kids know how to party?
oh yeah. Because they have no fear. They're just like I am, how I've always been. But they're just coming out of being like so barred up and whatever. And people were asking me about this like television show that's on television apparently.
Like the Amish. There's a couple Amish shows. There's like
Amish
Amish people running away from being Amish, and then there's like Amish mafia.
Amish mafia. It was just so weird. And if you've ever met anybody from Amish, I don't know. I've just had like great dealings with all of them. They make the best fucking butter, which I've got in my refrigerator right now. They're just.
I heard the
awesome.
Government was coming down on them for not pasteurizing their butter. Like what?
Oh, and milk. Like
Come
I get
on.
raw milk.
It's like a crime not to
Raw
pasteurize
milk,
your
raw
Amish
butter.
butter. That's a crime. So we got Ryan here with us tonight. Ryan, do you have any stories you want to share? Have any tales of adventure? With anything to chime in on here?
I don't know. Can you hear me? Am I echoing at all?
No, you're fine.
No, you're fine.
I can hear you, Ryan.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, I'm verifying right now. Travis is set up using the mixer and speakers. I got speakers and using the laptop mic, and yeah, I don't hear myself coming out of the speakers, and you guys aren't hearing an echo, so that's awesome.
Man, told you.
Yeah.
Well,
Don't ask me how that
someday
works.
we'll try to recreate it here so that we don't have to wear these headpieces. But for now,
Where'd you get the mixer?
Well, I mean,
there's plenty of time to talk about like where the mixer came from later.
It's not a mixer per se. It's like that. It's just like that M audio card that you have.
Huh. Yeah, now we're diverging into technical speak. There's some peripherals you can use for inputting audio and in adjusting the levels. So one day we're working with a low budget, so a lot of our stuff doesn't necessarily work the way we would like all the time. But with what we have, we do amazing things.
It seems that week 2 looks like it's gone off without a hitch. I didn't catch the beginning.
It hitched at the beginning, but I just look like a jackass for like 30 seconds.
Well, I mean, you still look like one, so it's alright.
It wouldn't be the Core Anywhere show if we didn't know we were.
There's a healthy amount of jackassery, just not the kicking you in the balls kind. I mean, if people want to be on the show and kick each other's balls or whatever voluntarily, that's okay if they come to that consensus with one another. But I just want to put out there, I don't want anyone to kick me in the nuts.
I will not kick you in the nuts.
All right.
I promise.
Thanks. It's
And
good.
I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. All this shit happened by accident right now.
Cool.
You're an official super.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Oh, there goes. All right. What were you showing us there? Was there a bag of something you were jigging through there?
Oh, that was Amish butter.
That was. Oh, you have Amish butter on hand. Do the Amish grow weed at all? Are there Amish weed growers? Do they make weed butter?
Well, they had a lot of weed during Rumspringa,
Uh-huh. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
but I had a lot of weed too, and I
Uh-huh.
sold a lot of it to them.
When you were on your own Springer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just what I did for a very long time. And plus, yeah, I mean, did I just say that out loud?
Well, I'm sure it was long enough ago that like the statute of
Yeah,
limitations
statute
Totally
of
not legal.
limitations.
expired. We're not trying to,
I'm just
get you
kidding.
incarcerated. I don't know if all the laws are in
I'm
Pennsylvania.
just kidding. No, I'm totally moving to Colorado after this.
Oh
I
yeah,
think. Yeah.
they're putting it on the ballot. I think this year in California too, to start next year with the legalization for people who are interested in that. Just
Or I'll move back to California. I mean, if I can have my tree house up in the redwoods, then maybe back to California. I love California. I fucking adore California. I just don't think San Diego is my place. But I need to go back and forth. I need to just travel everywhere. I'm like you right now, Cora. Like, I just want to go everywhere. That's why I think this show is fantastic.
thank you.
Because-
Theoretically, it is fantastic.
Well, I mean, even though you don't have the funding or whatever, yeah, I mean, it's going to grow. And if
This was our largest panel to date. I'm not sure that
Really?
anybody was actually watching other than our panel members, but in sheer panel members alone and multiple different signing on of our different panel members as more than one person, we've really raised the bar.
Well, if you give me a little bit more notice of hostessness, then I can actually invite some people.
Okay. Well, part of the reason why we haven't been promoting the show yet is just because we wanted to
Technicals.
feel like we are doing it nicely, properly, so that it's not fucked up, and that so when people tune in, they don't get turned off by our quaint failures at perfection.
Yeah, well, I hope that when you do reboot for a larger audience, that some of the stories will be reshared because there's some really good stuff on here that
Well,
I've heard so far.
You can always share the stories from the previous ones. They're always up on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah.
All our past episodes are up on YouTube. If anybody wants to see them, though, the best place to see them is by going to our website, which is Core Anywhere. I think someday I'm willing to drop the core from the name of the show and just be anywhere, but I own the URL, Core Anywhere.
I really like the Core Anywhere. Does anybody disagree with that?
Well, I mean, I just want to make it broader, like anywhere, because I'm willing to send
that's true.
other people places too. So then in the
I guess
future,
I
it's
just
not
like
just
your-
me going places. Though I want.
just like
me
your
to go
name.
Oh, thank you.
And I want to go anywhere with you too.
Well,
But-
we should come up with a proposal for an adventure, and we'll put it up on our page. There's a place on our website at coreanywhere.com where we have
Fire.
our proposals of potential adventures that we want to have. So in the future, we'll have crowdfunding. Also, you can fund us right now, anybody who's watching or watching in the future, by going to our website, and there's a section that says One of Us. You want to click on One of Us, and it opens up a little menu of all the different ways you can become one of us. And you can support anywhere as one of those options where you can make a contribution to the cause via your PayPal or by a Bitcoin. We now take Bitcoin. Maybe you got some Bitcoin you want to share.
One of us.
Yeah.
One of us.
Become one of us.
That's what we do at our theater.
Did Bitcoin suddenly crash? I heard some rumors about Bitcoin floating around.
Bitcoin the other day totally plummeted, but it recovered most of the value.
Yeah, I mean, it's done that before.
I've never
But
heard
it's
of that
certainly
before.
very volatile. But hey, somebody made a shit ton of money off of that volatility the other day. I can tell you that. Somebody who bought low and knew that it would go up again.
How
and
does
sold
that
high
happen?
before the crash happened. But it's a cryptocurrency. You can't see who's manipulating it that way, but you can trust that somebody did it just right.
Ryan, your echo was awesome.
Oh, there is an echo?
You were like, how did that?
It's like we all hear different things for some reason.
I don't know. I hear it fine.
That was just a good echo. It was perfect. Whatever.
So I want to thank you all again for joining us here tonight. I think I think this show is better than last week, and all we're trying to do is make each show better than the last, or at least, usually better, so that we're moving forward and progressing. So I want to thank you all for coming on the show and sharing your stories, and hopefully we'll have you back in the future, and we'll explore more Tales from the Road, and also make some more reenactments. Next week I'm having a friend joining us. Christopher Venna is going to be joining us from Turkey, where he's going to share some stories not only of living in Turkey during the uprisings there, but also about at some time he got mugged 3 times in one night in Paris.
Whoa.
Oh, shit.
I think that one, I haven't even heard that story yet, but that is prime for some reenactment. Like we get somebody dressed up like some, French guy.
I'll be the mugger.
You'll be one of the muggers, a French mugger. One of them would be a mime. I don't know. We'll hear the story first, and then I think that's when we can reenact. Because I've never heard of anybody being mugged 3 times in one day.
I know.
That's a new
I just
record.
don't want to play the guy getting mugged 3 times. I don't want to do that.
Gee, I got pulled over twice in one day for having a taillight out, but, come on. Come on. That's insane.
That happens. Let's see. And then also next week we're having another guest, Bling Blast, who is a bit of some sort of international, miscreant, playboy. I don't know. We're going to have him on, and he's going to tell us some of his salacious, debauched tales of his journeys in places around the world. We like a variety of stories. It's not always going to be a wholesome family show like it was for portions of this evening.
Sorry.
All right, so thank you all for tuning in, and we're going to call it the night. This was the latest, very exciting installment of Anywhere Live. Please remember to visit our website, coreanywhere.com, where there are many ways for you to get involved in helping us to co-create the greatest travel show the world has ever known.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, y'all.
Night.
I don't hear it. Oh.
Tori's still there. You're still there, aren't you? You're still there.
I'm still here. You can still hear us. Normally there'd be music playing now, but
There's no music.
it's not coming through. I bet you have your speaker muted on the Hangout end of it. But maybe somebody want to beatbox it? Oh, here it is. It's here now. Oh yeah, special thanks again to Travis for helping us out here tonight. And special thanks to all our guests again. You're fantastic, you're wonderful. You make the magic possible.